If a company hires you as a software developer, you'll be writing code that solves their problems. In turn, they'll pay you monthly. But here's the thing, you don't actually own any of the software that you'll be building. What are the minimum requirements? Well, number one, you need a high school education. You need a strong mathematical background. You also need knowledge of physics, chemistry, any other science subject. In addition to a high school education, you also need a bachelor's degree. A bachelor's degree in computer science, software engineering, or any equivalent degree. Sometimes certifications will help. In reality, you need a basic understanding of how computers work and the ability to write programs in languages like Java, Python, PHP, C#, or if you don't have a social life, C++. But you also need to consider the African penalty. Having the degree doesn't guarantee the job. We have more graduates than there are job positions. You may also need to know someone influential or have connections. In Africa, kinship often trumps merit. What usually happens after you graduate is you go job hunting. You apply for a job at just about every company you can think of, but it's more than likely that you're going to struggle a bit. This phase can last somewhere between 6 months to 2+ years depending on your connections and timing. If you get lucky and get hired by a company, it's more than likely that you're going to be hired as an intern or a graduate trainee. So you finally got something, but you'll be working like a donkey. I'm talking about long hours. And the thing is, you won't really be making that much money. From a Zimbabwean perspective, most interns and graduate trainees earn somewhere between $150 and $400 a month, depending on the company size and sector. The good thing is you just need to tough it out as an intern or a graduate trainee for about 1 to 2 years, sometimes even longer, depending on your company. And during this time, you'll be doing basic tasks like fixing bugs, documentation, and fetching coffee. Importantly, you will learn how professional code bases work, things like version control and working in teams. The next level after internship is junior developer. And as a junior developer, you'll be making somewhere between $400 and $800 per month, depending on the company. While junior developers have more responsibility in the dev team, they are assigned more difficult tasks, not just fixing bugs. The reality is you may not be making any serious money at this level, but at least you won't be spending time fetching coffee for senior developers. The next level after junior developer is senior or lead developer. How do you get there? Well, you need to be competent. The really good developers can skip internship and junior level entirely if they're skilled enough. It usually takes somewhere between 3 to 7 years of total experience for you to become a senior or lead developer. Some spend 5+ years stuck as junior developers before promotion. So what affects promotion speed? I've already spoken about competence, your raw ability. If you can solve problems and if you can solve problems well using computer code, it may not take you long to become a senior developer. If you get further qualifications like a Master of Science or an MBA or certifications, they'll certainly make your case stronger in some companies. So how much do senior or lead developers earn? Somewhere between $1,200 and $4,000 a month, and obviously this depends on the company. So what is it that senior or lead developers do? They lead projects, they make architectural decisions, they mentor juniors, and they're responsible for entire systems. But there is a trade-off. You make significantly better money as a senior or lead developer, but you're now working longer hours and you're constantly under a lot of stress because you carry more responsibility. A level up from that is tech lead or IT manager. How do you get there? Competence plus politics. Being brilliant at code isn't enough anymore. You need people skills, you need strategic thinking, and often the right relationships. At this level, you're making a killing, earning somewhere between $3,000 and $8,000 per month. So what do tech leads or IT managers do? They manage entire departments. They're also responsible for resource allocation, strategic decisions. They hire and they fire. You may be earning a lot of money, but you're now carrying an entire department. This requires patience, stamina, and you need to be politically savvy. The reality is, these positions are highly competitive. Sometimes competence and qualifications aren't enough. Let's break down the costs of getting employed as a software developer. I've already mentioned that most companies prefer candidates with university degrees. In order to get this degree, you'll have to spend 4 years in an educational institution. During that time, you'll part ways with somewhere between 2,000 United States dollars and 15,000. Of course, I'm speaking from a Zimbabwean perspective. During this time, you'll be spending money on transport, your internet bill, your laptop, and it's more than likely that you'll still be in your 20s. So you'll need money for extracurricular activities. So, what are the advantages of being employed as a software developer? Once you secure a position, a monthly salary is guaranteed, assuming the company doesn't collapse, of course. You also have a clear career projection path. You know what's next. It's more direct than freelancing and entrepreneurship, which we'll be discussing much later. If you reach senior level, you'll earn well above African median income. Some people thrive with clear expectations, working hours, and defined roles. If you like being told what to do, you should definitely consider being employed as a software developer. Let's talk about the disadvantages. Your employer owns specific days and hours of your life. You can't just disappear for a week because you feel like it. Your technical ability might not be enough. If you're not good at navigating relationships and selling your value, someone more politically savvy might outperform you on paper and get promoted instead. There are more degrees than there are positions. Having qualifications doesn't guarantee employment. You might need connections, luck, or persistence through long unemployment. In Africa, kinship trumps merit. In many African companies, who you know matters more than what you know. The nephew of the director is always going to get the role, even if you're more qualified. Your ceiling is someone else's decision. You can't earn more than your pay grade allows. If you want to work on different projects, you need somebody else's approval. And the truth is, once you start earning a decent salary, leaving feels scary, even if you're miserable. This is how you end up with people who are earning a crap ton of money but hate their jobs. So let's talk about the red flags. How do you know that employment might not be for you? Well, if you deeply resent authority or structure, employment is not for you. The idea of asking for permission to take leave makes you angry. Well, employment is not for you. If you can't tolerate office politics at all, employment is not for you. Now, this one is really, really important. If you're convinced you're smarter than everyone and you resent being told what to do, employment is not for you.